Yeah, we got Alonso1219 on the line from Miami football. You can catch him right on his YouTube channel right there. Just again, search Alonso1219 and you get some great Miami football coverage, some excellent takes before and after the games with the Canes. Undefeated taking on Syracuse, coming off that thrilling 25-24 upset, or not upset, 25-24 win against Georgia Tech.
Kind of upset that a lot of people had us pick to lose that game too. So
there were some people that jumped out there on the Georgia Tech bandwagon. I thought it was going to be a close game, and I kind of picked this one right because I said, Canes win, I'll take Georgia Tech plus the 6 points. So that kind of turned out for me on that one. But the upset, what was running through my mind when that came out of my mouth was the upset was the day earlier in Syracuse. Nobody saw this one coming, with Clemson playing as good a football as anybody in the nation coming in, falling to Syracuse, 27-24. I made the comment to Alonzo before we came on that I was hit with the information, the fact that this week that Syracuse has not been ranked since 2001. And when I mean not ranked, I mean not ranked at the end of the season. I mean ranked at any time during the season, any week during the season. And I sat there with a Syracuse guy, and he spit that out, and I said, I don't think you can name a Power 5 school that you can make the same claim. And he goes, oh, come on, Kansas. I said, no, Kansas finished in the top 10 in 2007. Everybody he spit out, Purdue, anybody that he thought could possibly fill that spot. No, Wake Forest has been pretty good at times. They were really good about 10 years ago, went to the Orange Bowl. Nobody in Power 5 can make that claim that would want to make that claim. This Syracuse program has been down, but they pull the unthinkable at home as a 25-point underdog, and they knock off Clemson, Alonzo. This is maybe puts a little bit different spin on this game this week.
Oh, I'm concerned about our offense, so we'll put a spin on every game we play. On every game that we play, about our whole country, when Syracuse pulled the to Clemson. I mean, but then I sat back and look at who Clemson lost to last year. They seem to give games away like this sometimes. I don't know if Dabo, if those guys just feel like sometimes they can just walk in and last year, but it kind of almost the same thing, losing to a team beat. And I think Clemson will bounce back, but Syracuse defense is tough.
Yeah, Syracuse wins this one over Clemson 27-24. They actually had to come back from a touchdown down at one point in that game. This defense, like you mentioned, now when I think Syracuse football under Dino Babers, I think all offense. I think about the up-tempo, everything that they're trying to do on that side of the ball. And basically their goal every game is to run 100 plays. Well, in this game, in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, they got in position to try to hang on to the ball. So they didn't hit their goal of running 100 plays, but that was a good thing because they were trying to kill the clock, and they did just that. But the Syracuse defense, as you mentioned, Alonzo, they are only allowing opponents to convert 23% on third down. And if you think, okay, maybe that was padded by some of those non-conference games against the likes of Middle Tennessee or Central Connecticut, no, against the Power 5, they're giving up less than 30% conversion rate on third down. Miami, offensively, to your point you were making earlier, Alonzo, 97th in the country on third down conversions as an offense, only 35%. So third down is going to be huge in this one.
And people would look at me and say, why are you complaining about the offense? 97th in the country is why I'm complaining about the offense. One thing that Syracuse is doing is their team inside out, and they're realizing that we don't have all the athletes that a lot of these other teams do. So we're gonna be a stout defense and manufacture points. And their defense is stout, and our offense right now, like I say, is anemic, especially on third down. I didn't even know we were ranked 97th in the country. There's only 119. There's only 119 schools in the NCAA.
I think we're up to 130.
You're ranked 97th. That puts you at.
We're up to 130.
It's 130
It's still not
now?
very good.
Oh, it's not good at all. I mean, ACC and 97th on. So you have to get better. I'm concerned about every game until I see improvement on offense. And I'm just you can't be 97th in the country. You have tight ends and running backs that you have to get involved in plays by, because it'll eventually catch up to you, and that's what you don't want it to do. So, like I said, I put it to the powers that be, the guys who get paid to make sure that they get the offense going a lot better. That's just, I'm a season ticket holder, I'm a booster, and it's my job to hold every, whether people like it or not. You have to, and the offense just is not working right now. It's barely getting by. That last drive of the game, I give it, the penalty should not have been called. I don't care. That was not a block. That was not an illegal block. It took us out of field goal range. We had to make a play. But that 3rd down and 11, I almost punched a hole in the TV. I'm sitting there, got to be kidding me. And then the 4th down play, he said someone else was open on the, but Malik went to Darrell Langham. To me, it should have been a pass interference because the guy never turned his head. He had his hands on him, pushing him. And Darrell Langham called a tip pass. I've never gotten to that point. He's put up on Georgia Tech. Last year we put up 35, but it was fool's gold because 14 of them were defensive touchdowns. You have to do better.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Alonzo. We got a bit of a lag on the feed there, so I thought you were done, and I jumped in on you. So I saw the Duke game. I saw most of the Florida State game. I saw bits and pieces of the Georgia Tech game. So I'm not going to profess to be an expert on what's going on 3rd down. But typically, if you're looking at 3rd down, you got a number of things that could be in play. If it's anything less than like 3rd and 3, then you point to that offensive line and say, those boys aren't getting it done up front. We're not getting the push up front that we need on the running plays on the short yardage. You can also look at one of your big bugaboos, that's play calling on 3rd down. You can also look at the quarterback and look at decision making on 3rd down, because that's usually when the windows are a little tighter. The guys are playing closer to the line of scrimmage, depending on the down and distance, of course. But yeah, a lot of things factoring into the 3rd down issues for Miami.
We're having a lot of long 3rd and distance, a lot of long 3rd downs. Not just that. I'm not just looking into this year. I'm looking into all of last year as well. I'm looking at this from game 1 of last year to game 5 of game 6 of this year. So I'm not just looking at, one game. I'm looking at the Notre Dame game last year. We started out slow. We were down by like, he opened the offense up. We almost won the game. I'm looking at every game in the beginning of last year when we weren't scoring points, and then everybody was saying, well, Alonzo, calm down a little bit. He's going to open it up against Florida State. Scored on 21 points against Georgia. I think it lagged off again. It was the Florida scored 21 points. They said, well, Florida State would score 19 points. So I'm looking at, I'm doing it in totality. I'm looking at every game that I've seen them call, and every I've seen them call has usually been slow starts, extra points. So, I mean, like I said, I have to put it on 2 different signal callers. Results. It might change once he get all his players into what he wants. Also look at us running backs into the ground. We have 2 good running backs 90% of the time. Homer didn't play. Now Travis Homer is running 150 yards. He did the same thing when he was at Georgia. Hurt. All those running backs, he ran those guys. Act like he didn't have a 2-back system. It was only a 1-back system. All the last backs that I seen got hurt, because they ran the ball so much, heavy doses of carrying. To me, you have to be more creative. You have to do things a little bit different.